Hey, everybody. Welcome and happy holidays. Whatever holiday you may be celebrating, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever. Happy holiday. So, like every YouTuber on the planet, it's the end of the year again, and gotta do our top whatever. I decided to aim at it a little bit differently. I went with a top 50, and I'm going to do it over the last 5 weekdays of the year. I hope you enjoy. Okay, one thing I want to get out of the way really quick, because it's going to be asked, why no Black Widow on the list? She's topping everybody's list this year. What's your problem? Okay, to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of neutral to Black Widow. And I thought it would be real disingenuous of me. Even though she's a good figure, and I did buy her because I wanted to fill that slot in my Avengers group, I am very neutral towards her. I don't like her. I don't hate her. I think she's just a member of the group. So, with that in mind, it would be disingenuous of me to put her in there, even though she's got some new engineering and new stuff that people are going gaga over. That's cool. That's cool. But that's not the only reason I buy action figures. These are my favorite action figures, and usually there's character behind that. And some people don't get that. That's fine. I'm just saying character goes a long way. This is not like, oh, how technical this is. This is how I feel about the action figure overall. So, just wanted to get that out of the way because I know she's topping so many people's lists this year. And just wanted to say that. So, don't be looking for Black Widow, okay? So let's get this started. This is 50 through number 41. And it has been an incredible year for toys, action figures, and it's just been all over the place. Great, bad, terrible, good, wonderful, unexpected, joyous, sometimes not, sometimes yes, sometimes no, but all around it's been pretty good. So where do we begin? Well, we'll begin at number 50 with Outback Rogue. Why is she so high on the list? Low on the list, some would say. Well, to be blunt about it, it's the hair. And there's a lot of interpretations of Rogue when she was in her quote unquote Outback gear that you can vary up and change and argue and da-da-da, but the hair really just doesn't work with this figure. That is the main problem. I don't hate the figure. I like the figure, but I think if they had done the hair a little bit differently, I would like it even more. That simple. I do like the figure, though. It's a good figure, solid figure. It's what you expect Rogue to be. Number 49, the Hulk from the Avengers 60th Anniversary 2-pack. Mostly, we've seen this Hulk so many times. I did not have a gray version of the Hulk. So this is why it gets on the list. Because I did want a gray version of the Hulk. That wasn't like Joe Fix-It or something like that. Just gray, monstrous version. And, I like the fact that this came with the t-shirt, too. It's pretty much the San Diego Comic-Con one, except I think it's a different sculpted face, and the colors are a little different. I think that's the only major things. A really good figure. I was really happy to get it in my collection. I like the banner, too, except for a couple of minor gripes. So, real happy to get that. Next, the first of many entries from Animal Warriors of the King, Blight. When I first saw Blight, I almost passed on him because I was like, it's just a simple repaint of Pale. Well, there's a reason for that. It's very much in the story. A lot of people don't want to spoil it for you. Psst, give you a clue. No need. Anyway, and then I did notice there's a subtle difference between the two. It seemed a little lazy. I think he would be higher otherwise. And although I like Pale, he's not high on my list either. So there's that going on. And, yeah, that's about it. I do like the figure. I like the fact that his weapons have, a slightly different color on the tips because indicate poison. That's cool. He has got some cool features. He's just, probably, my lowest ranking Animal Warrior of the Kingdom figure this year. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Number 47, Rick Steiner. I would really liked it if they had done Rick Steiner and his jacket could have moved. He probably would have ranked much higher if that were the case. They didn't. He's got full posability without the jacket, but God, the jacket's fun. Had big dogs on it. I mean, you could have had a whole lot of fun with that. They did that Polly Pockets thing where it can't move, so he just has to stand really stiff, like Ralphie's brother in the Christmas story. So, yeah, it's not quite that bad, but he's still stuck to the side. You can't do nothing. I'd have liked to have been able to deliver a Steiner line with the jacket on, but this is Mattel. They do this, so yeah. But again, if you had done something where he could do that, I'd probably rank this much higher. But Rick Steiner, at least I didn't find Scott for nothing. Probably won't be able to get Scott this year, but there's going to be plenty of Scott Steiner, so I'm not too worried about it. Number 46, Orb. Yes, Orb. Orb, in some ways, is very much a novelty character for me. I just think it's hilarious having a guy with a big eye, and he just looks so weird and so funny. And people were like, "Who asked for this?" And I'm like, "Me." I love characters like this. I think they're fun. I think we should all enjoy them. Some people don't agree with me. I think it's a waste of a slot. Okay, agree to disagree, but I have fun with it, and that's what's important to me. Okay, so Orb, there he is. Next up, from the Legends line, the Ultimate Dingo Warrior. This one was novelty, pure novelty, because you had him in his very earliest, the Ultimate Warrior in his very earliest stage as the Dingo Warrior with the power of the mustache. It's funny. It's cool. You have an alternate head to make him the Ultimate Warrior too. And it actually works. It works real well. Mattel had a great idea with this one with the swappable head part. Because a lot of people would look at that and go, "What the hell?" I look at it and go, "Oh, awesome." Number 44, the Blob. A lot of people are going to put this a lot higher on their list. I'm going to put it a lot lower. He's a good, big, beefy, chunky figure, but I didn't like the Build-A-Figure because it had so much cellulite. It was disgusting. I don't like this one because it doesn't have enough. There's a happy medium here between those two extremes. One day they're going to get it right, but for right now, he's a good blob. I'll use him as the blob, but he would have ranked higher if he just had a little bit more going on. A little bit of texturing. You didn't have to do it quite as bad as the Build-A-Figure one from Toy Biz, but you could have done a little better, I think. Number 43, Jadis, Frankenstein Monster. I admit I have a lot of Frankenstein monsters in my collection, and that could be it. I have a little bit of burnout on Frankenstein's monster, but this is a good one. I love the chains he comes with. Yeah, he's really cool. I dig him. So why don't you dig him too? Okay? Really, you should. All right. But there's not much I can really say. It's the Frankenstein's monster. What else is there? It's obvious. Everybody knows who Frankenstein's monster is. I think we're done here. It's a good representation. Good representation of Universal Monsters one. There we are. Number 42, Shipwreck. A lot of people shit on Shipwreck. At 3 times fast. I like Shipwreck. This one, his face is a little bit of instead of being the kind of cocky sailor I know from the cartoon, and I would have kind of preferred that, but okay, fine. Holly has a peg leg. I don't know why. I think that's weird, and that really kind of knocks him down too. But he is still a good figure. Some people knock the uniform. I'm not. That's Shipwreck right there. I think that fits him perfectly. So, yeah. I like it, but it's a little odd. But, hey, that's G.I. Joe for you. 41 is Bishop. Okay, this one, not for the reason you think. Not because he's missing the Jerry Curl mullet, but because he's not... He's cartoony. I'll be blunt about it. He's cartoony. And I get they were going for that style. I think it leaned a little too far into it. I do like the figure. It's a cool figure overall. It's just they leaned a little too far into the anime style. That's why he didn't get higher on the list. All right, that will wrap up day 1, 50 through 41 of my favorite figures of the year. So stay tuned for part 2.